Okay, this is just a quick tutorial on the dust and scratches filter to remove flakes on baby skin. So this is straight out of camera. This baby doesn't have a whole lot, but you can just see works the same even if they do have a lot of flakes. So I'm going to start off by creating some duplicate layers, and then I'm going to go up here to filter and then go to noise, dust and scratches. Now I've already set up a really quick just a shortcut key. So if this is something you're going to use, I'd highly recommend setting up a shortcut key for just making it a lot faster. All right, so I'm going to start right down here at the bottom. Your radius is what's going to kind of blur everything out. So a little bit goes a long way here. I'm going to drop it down. I usually somewhere between 15 and 20, because you want it to be blurred so that you don't see the dry skin, but you don't want it to be too much. So I'm going to try to find that happy medium. Like I said, usually I'm somewhere between 15 and 20. I'm going to keep it there for now. Now the threshold, this is where you're going to add back in some of that texture, because as you can see, it's taken out all the texture. So a good rule of thumb I found is to start like about half of what your radius is and see what that does. And then you can add more or less, kind of depending on what that looks like. So I'm going to leave it right about there. Click OK. Now what it's done is it's applied it to the whole image. So I'm going to want to go down here and put a layer mask on it. Click that, and then I'm going to inverse that, Command or Control I to inverse that, and then I'm using a white paintbrush at 100% opacity. I'm just going to go in, zoom in again, and then just kind of paint on where I want it to remove those flakes. You can tell it's still leaving some of the texture, but it's getting rid of those flakes for me really easy. So one of the things with this is, if you notice, this is pretty sharp right here, and it's taking it off nicely. Now what you might find is, as you move to some place where it's a little blurrier, maybe where the bokeh, or if you've shot at a really low aperture, you have that blur. It's not going to take it off as well. And so usually on the feet, like right here, see, it's not very sharp. I can paint over it, and if you look, you can still see kind of the outline of it. So just be aware of that, because then after you've kind of gone through, you may want to kind of come back with the Gaussian blur to kind of help on those areas like this where it doesn't blend it quite as well. So I just go around, make sure I hit all the areas. See how that was sharp, and it just pretty much got rid of that pretty easily. So I like using this because it is easy, and it's still leaving some texture to baby skin, because I don't like taking out all the texture when doing that. So let me zoom back out. I'm going to merge that, and then I'm going to just show you real quick. Again, filter. I have a shortcut for this too, so it's going to take me a minute to remember where it is. Blur, Gaussian blur. And then again, I want it to be blurry, but not so much that I can't tell that this is a foot. That's obviously too much. So I just want it to be somewhere where it just makes the skin look smooth. Same thing I did before, layer mask, Command or Control I, and then I'm going to paint on where I want it. And usually I am around a 30% opacity. So that now where it was you can see where those outlines are. Now I'm just kind of blurring it in so that those areas don't stand out, and everything just blurs in nicely. Your skin gets a little more smooth. I don't like to over smooth skin, but if you want to, you can keep going until this is, as smooth as you want it. So again, that's just something really quick and easy. I'm just going to zoom in right here. If I was doing this for a client, I'd obviously go through the hair and everywhere. I'm just going to show you real quick the before and after. So there's our before, and there's our after.